Why do I need two different appraisals during a divorce or during a death? You're not alone in asking this question. I'm going to answer a question, but first I'm going to back up and give you a bit of history first. So, in the housing crash of 2008, there was a lot of blame to go around, and a lot of that went to the appraisers, the lenders, and the realtors. And that's because prior to the crash, somebody like me could call an appraiser and say, hey, this is the house that's under contract for this much. Do you think it will appraise? And if the appraisal said no, then the lender or the realtor could call another appraiser because they got to choose who the appraiser was. Now, in response to the crash, that was no longer possible. New laws and procedures were put into place to ensure that that didn't happen again. So one of the significant changes was the establishment of appraisal management companies, or an AMC. So today, all appraisals must be ordered through the lender via the AMC for any loan. And there are very specific communication protocols with that. So for the loan, if you're getting a loan, whether you are buying out a spouse or buying out your siblings, if you're getting a loan, you have to get a appraisal for that specific purpose. Now, also, when you're going through a divorce or a death in the family, in the will or the divorce decree, many times that document will point out an appraiser, whether there's a lawyer who decided that's who it should be, or a family member who decided, I trust this person, this is who we need to use. And I've even seen it happen where in the death of the family, they actually wanted two different appraisers, just specifically to make sure it's fair and equitable for everyone. So because of that specific document, if somebody is named, you have to use that appraiser or appraisal company. So that's how you end up with two. One's for the loan, one's to make sure that everything within the will or divorce decree is correct. So in order to make everyone happy, sometimes you end up with two different appraisals. Now, I have had it work a very, very few times where if we talk to the appraiser who was appointed in the will before and say, hey, can you also get us that, it's called XML, the XML file, can we get that from you so we can also use it for the loan? I have had it work once. I have tried to do this 100 times. So it's possible, and the appraiser needs to understand what's going on, and they know exactly what you're talking about when you ask for the XML and why you're asking for the XML. But many times they'll say no, it's a totally different process because they have to also comply with their rules and regulations. And so 99 times out of 100, when you're dealing with a death or a divorce, you have to end up with two different appraisals. And so when you're considering that, make sure that that's also in the paperwork to say who's going to be paying for those, because that should be taken into consideration as well. Okay. If you're going through any of those things, please know that we are always here to hold your hand through it all. We want to explain things as thoroughly as possible. And some things with loans just don't make sense. And I know that maybe a lot of things don't make sense right now, but we are here to hold your hand through every single step of the way. Talk to you soon.